I'm so jealous that you guys have to get to have these experiences because I can't do that with my parents.
I didn't think about that.
Because like my mom is like already so familiar with it. My dad's come to Japan like fucking 30 times in his lifetime. So I'm just like, I don't have that like immediate, thing of like, let me show you the wonders of this country that I love kind of deal, right? Because it's like, I've done it with my, friends who have never come to Japan and stuff like that.
But it's different, right?
Yeah, it's different. But I will say it never gets old seeing someone who's never been to Japan or never been to Asia and just seeing Japan and just like blowing their minds at the most fucking like senseless things ever for no apparent reason. Like when I took like my university friends to Kyoto, for instance, like my friend just like one time we were on our way to Kiyomizu-dera and he just stopped at a fucking like a vending machine. But it wasn't just one vending machine. It was like 6 vending machines all in a row. And he was like taking photos of this. I'm like, it's a fucking vending machine, dog. Like, then we walked past like 20 of them. And he was like, yeah, but there's 6 of them. I'm like, God, why am I taking you all the way to Kiyomizu-dera?
They were impressed. So if you ever drive in Japan, you stop at one of the service stations. They were impressed by the giant, you've seen these, right? The giant coffee machines.
Oh, yeah.
They have these massive coffee machines that make like kind of fresh coffee in like a cup, and it's all like timed, and this one has a screen showing you the coffee being made, and it was literally just a cup. And it was just like, okay. But they were kind of impressed by that. They're like, well, this is pretty good. And I was like, yeah, it is. Parents also not very good with chopsticks. My dad will probably want me to be like, oh, he's better than my mom. He'll probably want that to be said.
Oh, they tried.
It was tough. It was tough. We had with some gyoza, and that was kind of tough.
Oh, those are slippery buggers as well.
Yeah. Because I was like, we should try all it. Because my favorite gyoza place does, they do the yaki gyoza, the normal type. But then they also do if you want to try, they can do the deep fried, boiled and the normal one.
Gyoza,
yeah. So it was like watching like the Looney Tunes like moment when my mom tried to pick up the boiled gyoza. She kept slipping out, splashing in the soy sauce, and I felt so bad. And I could see my mom was getting more stressed out. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. She's like, how do you get good at this? I'm like, I don't remember ever being good. I don't remember ever being like not able to do this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I realize now that not having chopsticks, learning chopsticks does kind of take a while if you've never used it. But credit to my parents, they keep trying.
Yeah.
They never like ask for a knife and fork or be like, where is it?
Yeah, I remember the first place we went to, the server actually brought them a knife and fork, and like I think your dad was like, no, I will not admit defeat. And I was like, yeah, that's Connor's dad, all right.
Damn. No, well, I think that's the best thing, right? It's like, it's just the fact that I think the one thing I always appreciate about whenever I'm taking people to Japan or, wherever, is that like, if they're just like, even willing, they don't even have to like it. The fact that they're just willing to participate in the culture is like the best thing you can get.
They're trying everything, and they're appreciating every aspect of the culture, which I'm very thankful for. I knew they would, but in your head you're always worried. You're like, oh man, they don't really care that much about Japan, so they wouldn't give a fuck.
Oh, good on them.
Well, the one thing that I think is the hardest, and even for me this is kind of tough, is that you have to resist that urge to let the taxi driver pick up your luggage. Because sometimes the dude looks like, he's like 90, he's like half your size, and he's going to pick up your heavy ass suitcase.
Yeah.
And like, oh dude, it's like, he can obviously pick it up. Like he's fine to do it. And it's like, it's sometimes just easier. I'm like, just let him do it. Trust me, it's going to be so annoying if you had this problem sometimes when you try to put your luggage in and they're like, no, I want to do it. And it's like this whole thing of like, okay.
I've had the opposite happen where like it was a super, super old guy, like frail as fuck, trying to pick up my luggage. And he like went to grab it. He didn't even like try to lift this thing up. He literally just grabbed the handle for about 2 seconds. And then just let go, and he looked at me. He's like, I'm like, all right, fine.
Most of the taxi drivers always want to do it for you.
Yeah. Well, because it's supposed to be part of like the service.
I know.
I think it's like the Asian kid in me, because my parents are like pretty old now, so I've gotten used to being like, no, dad, for fuck's sake, you're in your 70s. Let me carry the bag.
I always want to do it.
Yeah. So I'm like, every time I get to the taxi, I'm ready for like a little, not a fight, but like I'm ready to fight him. To let me, give me that shit, okay? Get in the taxi, okay? I'm a young, healthy man. I can do this, okay? Don't worry about it.
I mean, I try to do that, and if it is actually heavy, I'm like, dude, no, don't do it. But if it's like light, I'm like, all right, it's okay, fine.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's like sometimes, especially at least for my parents, I told them to do that because I was like, you're not gonna be able to communicate with them. It's gonna be awkward. Just let them do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then also,
let them cook.
Do not open the doors. Don't close the doors. Don't open the. Don't touch the doors. Just don't. This is the hardest thing to tell people because I feel like you can tell them it. They just don't. They don't do it because it's like it's something in your brain that's hardwired.
Yeah.
Where you open the door and you close the door to the taxi.
Yeah.
But like I was like, do not touch the doors. I know you want to. Don't do it. They will open it for you. And so they're kind of getting used to it and stuff. And I get it. It's tough. It's tough to rewire your brain.
It's hard traveling outside of Japan and unlearning that because the amount of fucking times I've traveled out and I've just walked straight out of an Uber and just not looked back.
Yeah.
It's just, it happens every single time I've
had the opposite where like I walk up to the Uber, I'm just standing in front of it, just waiting for it to open. I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, I've had that. That was like,
yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So they're getting used to it. So
what are you planning to do with them for like the rest of your time?
Yeah, how much longer are they here for?
A few more days. So I'll probably just take them to some nice restaurants.
Oh, yeah. You're gonna take them to Golden Guy?
I might. Dude. I gotta stop drinking. I
feel that.
My parents, they like drinking, so it's like I'm like dying, but no drinking, please. Yeah, I pretty will. I realize as well, like I don't mind eating out at a nice restaurant, but obviously to be a good son, I want to pay for them. Yeah, and I'm like, oh my god, paying for me for a nice restaurant every now and then is fine.
Yeah.
Paying for three people for a nice restaurant every day, back to back. I'm like, oh my god, this is adding up. I'm like, I'm going broke here. My accountant's asking me, so what's going on, Connor?
How many business dinners do you have today? Like,
$600 on a tempura restaurant, Connor? Really? I was like, I really wanted the, because I'm like, man, you got to try it. And I'm like, they're only here one time. I should.
Yeah, of course.
I'll pay it. So yeah,
do you think they're going to come back at any time in the future?
Yeah, I think they definitely want to go skiing.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
I think they want to learn how to be a bit more independent here. It's just tough because I think learning.
It's understandable.
Learning languages at old ages is hard, and I think no matter how many times, I mean, because even I'm still, it's still hard to do it. Telling someone how to sumimasen is hard.
Telling a British person to sumimasen is nigh on impossible. Yeah, I still can't do it.
We were in a bar, right? And there's going to be nights where they're going to be out without me.
Yeah. Yep.
And I was like, man, I got to teach you how to sumimasen. Like, you got to just do it. Like,
life hack.
I was like, you got to learn. Because if you want a beer, you want to get attention, right? Like, if you want a beer and you want it right now, you got to sumimasen. Yeah. So I told them, I was like, all right, try it. Say sumimasen. And so they go, sumimasen. I'm like, no.
Louder, damn it.
And even me, when I go like sumimasen, they won't hear me. It's like, it's gonna be even more.
Yeah.
You gotta do it. And then when they come over, just say biru. It's okay. You don't need to say any of the stuff. They understand. Just say it a little bit. And they're like, okay. And they try. And my dad's so bad at it. I could tell him what to say, and he'll just it'll all just forget the moment he gets to talk. Like, no, just say beer. One more, please. And I'm like, Dad, they're not going to understand one more. It's so
because my dad's a fucking pro at sumimasen now. Like,
I believe it.
Like the moment he sits down, he's just sumimasen, like just across. He's like, he knows what's up. He's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
that's good though.
Yeah,
that's pro sumimasen.
That is pro sumimasen.
Yeah,
I can't imagine my parents being able to learn that. My parents are the most like reserved people on this planet.
My mom's got this book that's Japanese phrases book, and she's using it sometimes, but I don't know how well it's working out for her. Right. She says it's working well.
You've been teaching them like the phrases that need to be used aside from like.
I try to. Well, at one time I told them, I was like, hey, come, I was like, hey, come to my apartment building, and I'll come meet you outside, because they were staying super close by. And so I go down to my apartment building, and they're just talking to a Japanese person outside my apartment building. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? Okay. Like, don't bother people. Yeah. What is this? Yeah. What is this? I'm like, no. They're not going to know what. So I go out, and there's just a woman looking really confused. Right. And then I'm guessing my mom was trying to confirm that this was the address. And I was like, Mom. I was like, I see what I'm saying. How'd you make that on Neon? Yeah. And then, so then she laughed, and I was like, well, don't talk to people. They're not gonna speak any English. What are you?
Especially in Tokyo.
What the fuck? I was like, it was very wholesome, but I was
Yeah.
like, oh God. Oh no, they've been here for like 2 days and they're already like confronting strangers. I was like, oh God.
Your mom just whips out the book. It's
Yeah,
like,
she
it's my
looks at the
time.
book, and I'm like, oh my God. Oh no. Oh no.
It's so cute.
Yeah.